News at 10 starts now.
It's rough for him because it's like losing a member of your family, and it was very hard on him.
Now at 10, a sheriff's deputy is dealing with the loss of his canine partner after finding him in his car.
Plus, you could be targeted in a copyright lawsuit and not even know it.
And how almost $90,000 will be used to fight heroin in Rock County.
But first, Packers fans are really feeling like football season is here.
Green Bay opened the preseason tonight with a win at the home of the Super Bowl champion Patriots.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers started, moved the ball, but the Packers' first score came in the second quarter when Scott Tolzien connected with Jeff Janis for the touchdown. The defense held New England at bay from there, recording 7 sacks in the game. The final score, 22-11. Sports director Rob Vogel will have a more in-depth look at the game coming up later in sports.
A Brown County canine died while on assignment at the PGA Championship near Kohler. Canine Wicks died while in a parked squad car. The Sheriff's Department says the air conditioner was left on, but then malfunctioned. And that wasn't the only thing to fail. The canine heat alarm did not activate. It warns the deputy that there's a problem by turning on the squad's red and blue lights, honking the horn, and rolling down the windows. Veterinarians say these precautionary measures are put into place because it is normal for canine officers to stay in squads.
That's an important thing to remember, that utilizing the vehicle as a place to rest is a necessity for them.
Wicks was the 5th police dog to die in a hot car across the country this summer.
This is your Weather Authority forecast.
A couple of isolated thunderstorms made their way through the region this evening, but it didn't quite hit the airport, and that's where our official readings are taken for weather records. So for the last 24 hours, we've picked up nothing at the airport. So far this month, just 0.37 inches. If it seems like it's been a dry month, it has. Normally, we have 1.8 inches by this time, so we are well behind as far as rainfall totals are concerned. So this thunderstorm skipped just around the southwest end of Madison, ended up hitting mainly Mount Horeb as a stronger thunderstorm there, and then continued down to the south, and as it made its way across Greene County, rapidly began to weaken and diminish, and so now it's a quiet night once again for southern Wisconsin, but a mild one at that. 76 degrees for the current temperature. Winds very calm, and as we head through the day tomorrow, we'll start off in the low 70s and finish in the upper 80s. We should see another chance for some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, so I'll highlight when and where to expect those, as well as a hot and hazy weekend on the way. Those details with a complete forecast in a bit.
Only on NBC 15 News, several people in south central Wisconsin are targets of a federal lawsuit that claims they illegally downloaded an Adam Sandler movie.
But as NBC 15's Christy Diamond explains, you may not even know you're a part of this lawsuit yet.
Right now, this lawsuit only lists IP addresses, but we know some of those are in Madison, Sun Prairie, and Janesville, just to name a few. For the copyright owner, this is a way to discourage illegal downloading. But some say it's just a way for the film industry to get more money from you.
Let's go, man. Time is money.
For Adam Sandler's character,
and I need him tonight. Close it. 6.
The story starts with a pair of magic shoes. But for dozens of people listed in a federal lawsuit, their story starts with a letter.
This is what's called a file sharing case.
And Middleton attorney Elizabeth Russell has handled several of them.
It's very easy for people to be caught up in these types of campaigns, and that's what they are, is campaigns, quite honestly, to generate revenue for the copyright owner.
In this case, a company called Cobbler Nevada is seeking injunctive relief, meaning a fine up to $150,000 from people they claim illegally downloaded the movie The Cobbler. At this point, the people in the lawsuit are only identified by their IP address. The company will then subpoena the service providers, in this case Comcast and Charter, for the names associated with those addresses.
They will go to the individuals and say, here it is, we've got you, basically. Pay us money, or else we are going to sue you personally.
The problem is, whether you did it or not, Russell says finding evidence to prove you didn't is difficult.
Extremely difficult.
That's why most people opt for a settlement.
The amount that they're requesting or demanding in settlement is typically $3,000 to $6,000, which is a lot of money for most people, but It's a lot less than $150,000, and they know that it's roughly what you're going to pay a lawyer to get a case going in the first place.
So this is really just not a letter you want to be getting.
Absolutely not.
That's why Russell says you want to make sure you don't wind up in this situation in the first place. Though Madison Geeks president Kalal Cunningham says you easily could.
You might be in school, you might be at the library, you might be out with friends, and they're like, hey, just go and use this method. You can watch this movie for free. Well, you think, I can go and see this for free. You're not really thinking I'm sharing, copyrighted material.
And you want to make sure no one else on your network is either.
It could be teenagers that are in the home. The parents might not even know much about technology, let alone that, know that someone within their home is taking that information and copy, bringing movies down.
Or it could be someone you don't even know who's connecting to your network.
If your wireless is open, or you have a very weak password for it, this is one of the biggest things.
Federal court records show the company that produced the Cobbler, Voltage Pictures, has filed dozens of similar lawsuits involving other movies like Dallas Buyers Club, Maximum Conviction, and Hurt Locker.
The public's not winning. These are campaigns to generate revenue.
So while Adam Sandler learns the value of gratitude,
You have not seen this before. Trust me.
the moral of this story is to make sure you secure your network and don't download content illegally.
If you could turn the clock back, you say, just buy the movie.
According to court documents filed last week, it should be within the next few weeks when people start to get notified that they're a part of this. We did reach out to the attorney who filed the lawsuit, but did not hear back.
Christy, thank you. Police busted a drug house on Madison's Near East Side. 3 people were arrested after the SWAT team searched a home on Rusk Street yesterday afternoon. This followed a 3-month-long investigation. Police say a cocaine substance and about $8,500 worth of stolen construction site tools were found in the home. And a Beloit man was arrested this morning for drug trafficking. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says they searched Jer Brown's Beloit home on Portland Avenue, and they found ammunition and items used to make and deliver illegal drugs. He'll be in court tomorrow afternoon.
Heroin is a problem agencies in Rock County have been fighting for quite some time. But as NBC 15's Jaleesa Irizarry shows us, the Human Services Department is receiving a helping hand.
Tonight, Rock County Human Services asked for money and got it. Now tens of thousands of dollars are being added to the fight against heroin.
I would call that an epidemic.
Statements like that are not new, but finding ways to battle heroin can be.
Asking for additional funding from the Rock County Board in order to continue to provide aorta treatment, including heroin medically assisted treatment for many of our citizens who need that service.
The Rock County Board on Thursday approved the roughly $90,000 budget increase, a move that is expected to help many.
Well, the money will go to actually paying for their treatment in the community from the providers.
At the meeting, law enforcement backed the proposal, saying this is an issue they can't ignore.
We can't arrest our way out of this problem.
Clivy says already they have many people on a wait list seeking treatment. Some of the money will go into hiring someone able to help people immediately.
I think it's trying to reach people when they're ready for treatment. And one of the features of the additional dollars that we're requesting is for a contracted position so that we can have somebody in contact with them, starting them in treatment, continuing to keep them engaged and willing to go into treatment. So we feel like it's a win-win from the standpoint of being able to serve their interim needs while the treatment has to wait just a little bit.
The budget increase passed unanimously. Those funds will start getting used the minute the department gets them.
All right, Jaleesa, thanks. Well, it might seem far away right now, especially on a day like this, but winter is only months away.
Coming up on NBC 15 News at 10, how El Nino might affect winter this year in our state.
And preparations are underway in Cuba for a historic moment in international relations.
Coming up tomorrow on The Morning Show, there's something parents should not overlook before school's back in session.
And it has a big impact on health and learning. More on the one exam your child does not want to miss tomorrow.
Plus, it's been several months in the making. Wollersheim Winery is unveiling its newest edition. We'll take you to the grand opening of its distillery and all that it has to offer. We'll see you tomorrow.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Building a dream takes time. And as times change and life grows busier every day, you have to work even harder to achieve that dream. At Ballweg, it's been our dream for over 50 years to do business the right way, to be here when you need us at every stage of your life.
The Ballweg family of dealerships, established 1965.
Ah, the delicious, painstakingly slow art of barbecue. Now hot from your oven in 15 minutes with chicken, pork sausage, or Angus steak. Just $10 for a large. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
People make mistakes. We'll help undo your wireless ones. Just bring in your bill, and we guarantee we'll beat the price on your current Verizon or AT&T plan. If we can't, you'll get a $50 promo card. Plus, take advantage of our unlimited contract payoff. Don't let your next mistake be missing out. Undo your contract. Switch to US Cellular today.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of furniture at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
The NBC 15 Weather Authority is brought to you by Madison Family Dental Associates. A blood pressure screening should be part of your dental checkup. Know your numbers at MadisonFamilyDental.com. This is your Weather Authority forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. A very quiet night now. But it was a whole different story earlier in the evening. Well, for some areas in southern Wisconsin, we had those thunderstorms that rolled through. But here's how we did for the day before the thunderstorms got here. 84 degrees was the high. We had a lot of cloud cover in place. We were looking for a really hot day. Clouds moved in early in the day, and that helped us stay a little bit cooler than expected. So it was still a warm one at 84, still above average, but not quite in the upper 80s. Now, we are expecting to see a little bit more sunshine on the way, so things are going to get hotter before they start to cool back down. All right, here's a look at those thunderstorms. They started up way up around La Crosse. They dropped like 1/3 of an inch there in a very short period of time. Then as they pushed their way down through southern Juneau County into southeastern Sauk County, northeastern Iowa County, that's where they started picking up speed. Actually got fairly large as they pushed over southwestern Dane County. Around Mount Horeb, saw some heavier rainfall there, and then continued down across Green, Rock County, and diminished in scope and strength and got smaller, and now there's nothing. But there was a little bit more moisture up in western Minnesota today. That is also diminished as we push in the overnight hours, but it does let us know that there is moisture in the budget. We do have some pretty high humidity in the atmosphere, high dew points, and those have also helped temperatures to remain a little bit cooler, but both are going to be on the rise tomorrow, both temperature and dew point. For now, things are still fairly warm, especially after seeing a high of 84. These temperatures have not been too quick to cool off. We're looking at 70s across the region. The cool spot on the map up in Camp Douglas, still at 70 degrees. And look how hot things got for the day today. I mentioned that we hit 84 locally, but they hit 90 degrees up in Fargo, North Dakota. Bismarck hit 95, 94 for Pierce, South Dakota. These areas hit triple digits yesterday, so things are beginning to settle down a bit. That heat is beginning to kind of shake itself out, transfer a bit out to the east, and we've still got southwesterly winds in place, so that's going to continue to keep us fairly warm. Now, we start off the day tomorrow under mostly sunny skies, partly cloudy conditions heading into the afternoon, and then we see a chance for some thunderstorms to fire up toward the end of the day, probably around the same timing that we saw for the day today. And then as we head into the weekend, mostly sunny skies return once again. So for the night tonight, a few storms. We saw those move through already. Mainly just going to call it mostly cloudy. 67 for the overnight low. We're up to 88. A hot one tomorrow. Chances for late-day thunderstorms. Then sunshine, hot and humid right through Saturday and Sunday. upper 80s. A lot of areas may actually hit the 90-degree mark for Saturday and Sunday, and then we see things cool back down after some thunderstorms make their way through on Monday. Much more where we should be for this time of year for next week, John.
Kind of a classic summer day. I know a lot of kids are out looking at colleges, checking out where they want to go to school this time of year.
And this is all part of it. This is all part of it. You get to wear the extra comfortable clothes for walking around.
That's right. Yep, pick up the school sweatshirt, T-shirt.
Oh,
you know,
so
remember those days.
Oh, I do. It was not as long ago for me.
I was going to say it, but thank you.
Nicely statedly.
Yeah. Although it does, it's a lot longer than I would like to admit.
Yeah, we used to sew our own clothing and it say Wisconsin on it.
I would love for you to bring one of those in. I'm sure it's fabulous. Well, it is still summer, but El Nino might already be affecting winter this year.
She just used the word winter. Oh, it is strengthening in the Pacific Ocean, and it's being dubbed the Godzilla El Nino. Is that the scientific name there? It's showing potential to become the strongest on record and will peak this fall or early winter. The National Weather Service's Climate Prediction Center says it might bring more precipitation to the nation.
Now, this is as opposed to the Mothra El Nino of 1997-98. I'm kidding. I don't know who made up the Godzilla. Oh, it's the Godzilla El Nino. Yeah, let's go with it.
Speaking of 97, though.
It was, yes. Now, what happened in 1997, locally, that was the most recent El Nino that was a very, very strong one. So for Wisconsin, what that meant is that we set a new record warmth as far as the months of December through February were, of 97 through 98. We averaged 26.4 degrees. Now, typically, we see about 16.6 degrees for our average. That's highs and lows combined for the entire state for December all the way through February. The previous record was 23.8 degrees, which was in the year 1930 to 1931 of December through February. So that was a very, very warm winter for us. As far as rainfall, we were somewhere right in the middle for rainfall or wet weather, precip, snowfall, excuse me. We melt it down, and then we take that liquid content and we measure that. But we were pretty much average for that. South Carolina and Florida, they saw record moisture for that year for El Nino, 97, 98 in that wintertime. So for us, what it could mean if this was, or if this is to be a stronger one, is just overall a slightly warmer winter than usual, or a much warmer winter
Sometimes
than usual.
the warmer weather creates more moisture, though, than the super cold Arctic days. Yeah.
And everything is a balance. You know, if it's warm on one side of the earth, it's going to be colder on another, so everything kind of balances out. But for us, yeah, it could definitely have some effects down the line.
I think we're getting the cue that we need to move on, but obviously interesting.
They're playing us out right now.
Yeah, keep on top of that for us. Still ahead on NBC 15 News at 10.
Preparations are still being done before a historic moment in Cuba tomorrow morning.
Wisconsin Athletics is teaming up with Subway restaurants for an entire season of home football game ticket giveaways. Rush into Subway today for the Bucky Meal. Any size sub, a bag of chips, and a 30-ounce drink. Use the game code from your Bucky Collector's Cup for a chance to win 2 tickets to a Badgers home game. Show your Badger pride and win free tickets only at Subway.
Ford Free Ride is on. Get 0% financing for 72 months for qualified buyers, so you're free from interest for 6 years. That's on every 2015 car, SUV, and truck, so you're free to choose. Plus $1,000 bonus cash direct from Ford on cars and SUVs, so you're free to save. Interest-free financing on every 2015 Ford, plus $1,000 bonus cash on cars and SUVs. Hurry, the Ford Free Ride ends soon at your local Ford dealer.
Now open and all new, it's the grand opening celebration sale at Ashley Furniture Home Store on Madison's East and West Side. We're celebrating with grand opening specials and huge store-wide savings. Right now, save up to 50% off store-wide. Save 40 to 80% off accessories and accents. Find doorbusters throughout the store, like this Durablend reclining sofa, now 50% off. This 2-piece reclining sectional is now just $13.99. Plus, finance your entire purchase interest-free for as long as 48 months. The grand opening celebration is on now, only at Ashley Furniture Home Store.
Who's gonna win our tuition competition?
The winner is...
Next, Rachel.
Friday at 2 on NBC 15. NBC 15's Your Health is brought to you by Dean and St. Mary's.
Dozens are still unaccounted for after explosions at a container warehouse in China. At least 50 were killed so far. More than 700 were injured. The explosions happened yesterday and destroyed a workers' dormitory. 12 of the dead were from more than 1,000 firefighters sent to fight the fire. There is no word yet on what caused that explosion, but authorities say the blast started at a warehouse that stores hazardous materials. The National Earthquake Bureau says the first blast was the equivalent of 3 tons of TNT, and the second blast was about 21 tons.
After decades, the U.S. flag will fly again in Havana, Cuba. Preparations are underway for the official flag-raising ceremony at the U.S. Embassy tomorrow. The ceremony will mark a new relationship between Washington and Havana. Secretary of State John Kerry will walk inside the embassy's iron fence and raise a U.S. flag to mark the restoration of diplomatic ties after 50 years of Cold War hostilities. Last December, President Obama announced he would use his executive powers to proceed with the normalization of relations with the island nation.
Sports is next, but there's a look first at tonight's winning lottery numbers.
We saved on back-to-school shoes at Rogan's. Next time we'll save even more because when I bring in my receipt, the second pair is half price. We always save more at Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is always half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Nice! Chevy's got 3 great deals to choose from this summer. Which works the best with your budget?
I'm drawn to the 0%. $1,000 cash back.
I've never ever thought about leasing a car until I saw that deal.
Now, let me tell you something that's super cool. You can choose any one of these deals on any of these cars.
Seriously?
Find your tag. Get $2,000 total cash allowance on select Cruise vehicles in stock. Or current qualified GM lessees can get a sign and drive lease on this Chevy Cruise LT.
Hubert Trailer Sales 50th anniversary means golden deals for you with prices so low we can't advertise them. Friday, August 14th, 9 to 4 and Saturday, August 15th, 9 to 3. Stop in and see your exclusive Jayco dealer, Hubert Trailer Sales, 1842 Highway County, MM, 1 mile north of Oregon.
Our daughter was seriously injured by a doctor driving drug impaired. And the compassion Habish and Rotier showed my family and their determination to seek justice gave us comfort and peace of mind with a successful outcome.
Habish, and Rotier.
How would I define the ideal doctor-patient relationship?
It's one that's based on trust, caring, empathy.
Empathy makes me a better doctor.
It's all about listening, and it's all about caring.
I try to treat all of my patients like they're the most important people in the world.
Treating them like how I would treat my own family member.
If you care about what you do and you care about your patients, you dot every I and you cross every T.
The doctor-patient relationship has the power to heal.
Back to school is when I save on shoes for the whole family. Because at Rogan's, the second pair is always half price. Back to school means I'm back at Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is always half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
This is NBC 15 Sports.
With all the footballs presumably inflated to the proper PSI level, the Packers and Patriots kicked off the preseason tonight. However, Clay Matthews, who recently returned from a sore knee, did not make the trip to Foxborough. Tom Brady, much better looking than his court artist sketches, made it to and actually played in the game briefly. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty sharp in his couple of series. The offense couldn't close the deal, though. Failing on this 4th and goal attempt, Rodgers and Tom Clement decided to dial up another 4th down call, and this time the run was stuffed. So, trailing 8-3, in comes Scott Tolzien to save the day. The former Badger with a perfect strike to Jeff Janis for the touchdown. Scary moment, though, for the Packers in the second quarter for fellow ex-Badger James White. The Pats running back hit hard in the leg by Quentin Rollins on the pass play. You can see White in some obvious pain, but the Packers feeling good after a 22-11 win. Rodgers and Tolzien combined for 21 of 35, and the touchdown. Former Whitewater QB Matt Blanchard completed both passes he attempted. Tom Brady just 1 of 4 for 10 yards. After 3 days worth of players praising Whistling Straits for its condition and the quality test it provides, the best in the world proceeded to rip it to shreds, so to speak, today. Round 1 of the PGA Championship, where it was a tale of two tee times. In the morning, Dustin Johnson took advantage of calm conditions, fired approaches like this one at the 4th. It leads to one of his 5 birdies and his round of 6 under 66. Difference between me and Rory McIlroy, we both can hit it into the water, but only one of us can get it out. The world #1 saves par at the 5th. Same group, Jordan Spieth showed his flair for the spectacular, chipping in for birdie. The showdown resulted in a round 1 draw for Spieth and McIlroy. Steve Stricker put a new putter in his bag this week, trying to bust out of his slump. Looks like a good call. Great par save at 18 puts the Edgerton native in contention, just 5 shots back. Dustin Johnson missed a putt to win at the U.S. Open and collapsed after leading through 2 rounds at the British Open. But he's shown an ability to bounce back. Stricker is joined by the likes of McIlroy and Spieth at 1 under. Our Marissa Silvas has more from Whistling Straits.
5 years ago, this beautiful course turned out to be a nightmare for Dustin Johnson. Back in 2010 at the PGA Championship, he missed the playoff by 1 stroke. Today's opening round went much better.
When you try to push and try to, make things happen, that's when you can make some big numbers in majors. But, today I thought I did a great job of just staying patient.
The hype between Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy continued, with both turning in solid performances.
Happy with the way I struck the ball. I must say I was pretty nervous on the first tee. It was just getting back there. It was nice to get that opening tee shot out of the way.
The atmosphere, it was fantastic. Huge crowds today, rooting for all of us. I thought that the roar when the chip shot went in was louder than I even expected it to be, which is pretty cool.
Former Badger Ryan Helmanen didn't get the start he wanted, but for Edgerton native Steve Stricker, a new putter seemed to do the trick.
I made some putts today, which I hadn't been doing this year at all, so it was fun to see the ball go in for a change. I put a lot of nice strokes on it. The ball rolled nice, so it was fun. I hadn't seen that this year at all, so it was a good day on the greens.
I was ready to go. I did all the homework, and felt like I was prepared. It's just the way golf is. You got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but I'm going to fight through this, and I'm going to play good tomorrow.
Stricker also said having his better half Nikki caddy brought back a lot of good memories. At Whistling Straits for the PGA Championship, Marissa Silvas, NBC 15 Sports.
Thank you, Marissa. Yesterday at a golf charity event, Bo Ryan said he's, quote, not totally sure about whether he will retire after next season. Asked whether that means he's leaving the door open to returning after next season, replied, I am. I wouldn't be the first guy in the country that ever thought about retirement and then changed their mind. Hear that, Brett Favre? Brewers head to face John Lester in their series finale with the Cubs this afternoon, tied at 1 in the 4th. Starts to get ugly for the Crew. Dexter Fowler puts one into the bleachers and right. They reviewed it. It goes as a 2-run homer. Before the inning could end, Cubs went deep 2 more times. In fact, the Cubbies would end up with 5 home runs on the day, on the way to a 9-2 crushing of the Brewers. And the Badger football team has added a home-and-home series with Syracuse to their 2020 and 2021 schedules. NBC 15 News at 10. We'll be right back.
Check out today's Job of the Day from jobsinmadison.com.
Now at Slumberland, for the first time ever, pay no interest for 6 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Pay no interest for 6 years at Slumberland's anniversary sale.
Awesome. I'm not even kidding.
Slumberland. It's a good life.
The Ford Free Ride is on. Get 0% financing for 72 months for qualified buyers, so you're free from interest for 6 years. That's on every 2015 car, SUV, and truck, so you're free to choose. Plus $1,000 bonus cash direct from Ford on cars and SUVs, so you're free to save. Interest-free financing on every 2015 Ford, plus $1,000 bonus cash on cars and SUVs. Hurry, the Ford Free Ride ends soon at your local Ford dealer.
Start the school year right. Out with the old and in with the awesome new jeans. Yes! And don't forget a sweet new backpack. Shopko's Back to School sale is here with Crayola crayons and Elmer school glue. Obviously, only 50 cents each. And other awesome school supplies for only 98 cents. What? Is that even real? Plus, you can rock some great hoodies. 60% off kids' fleece hoodies and varsity jackets. It's the last days of Shopko's Back to School sale. Head there now for epic deals.
On the east side, new trades come in daily at Metro Ford of Madison. On Wayne Terrace, 1 mile on Highway 151 from Easttown Mall off High Crossing Boulevard. Like this 2010 Scion XB from $99.95. An 11 Ford Focus SE from $89.95. Or a 12 Ford Escape XLS 4x4. Or a Ford Fusion SEL. Your choice, just $99.95. Our inventory is incredible. See it all at the dealership or online at metrofordofmadison.com.
Now at Slumberland. Pay no interest for 6 years.
Wow. Sweet.
Get $600 off the Sealy Queen set. Now just $399.
Outstanding.
The anniversary sale at Slumberland. It's a good life.
Tonight, Fallon has Paul Giamatti and parties with Alicia Vikander. Plus Robin Thicke and freestyling with the Roots. Then Seth has Kristen Wiig, New Tonight Show, then Late Night, NBC Tonight.
A North Carolina pastor plans to arm several parishioners to keep those inside his church safe. In 2002, Reverend Melvin Clark was taken hostage inside his church, but didn't think about arming his own church members with guns until after recent events in the South. 3 months ago, a gunman opened fire at Emmanuel AME Church in downtown Charleston. 9 people were killed. And this past Sunday, 2 men were arrested for bringing guns into a Charlotte church. Reverend Clark hopes to arm 10 members of his church with firearms. He says they would get the proper licenses and training to deal with various situations, including an active shooter.
It is putting a plan in action that we interface with our local law enforcement. People will begin to take matters in their own hand because they don't know that there is a plan in place.
There are surveillance cameras at the church, but the Reverend thinks that's not enough. Clark plans to meet with local law enforcement at the end of August or early September to discuss arming those parishioners.
Linebacker Ike Enemkpali is apologizing today after punching the Jets quarterback on Monday. That incident happened in the locker room. After punching Geno Smith, he was fired from the Jets, and on Tuesday he signed on to team rivals the Buffalo Bills. Today he issued an apology in light of his recent actions.
I apologize for what happened. Should have never happened. I should have walked away from the situation. It was never my intentions to hurt anybody. I'm just very grateful for Rex Ryan and the Buffalo Bills organization for giving me an opportunity to further my career here in 2015.
Enemkpali could be facing a suspension and possibly legal charges if Smith decides to pursue them. As for Smith, he's out until at least October because of his injury. And we'll be right back with a final look at the forecast with Carlos right after this.
Stay connected with NBC15.com.
Jeeps and more Jeeps at Don Miller, Madison and Dane County's Jeep headquarters. During the Jeep Summer Clearance event, get a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, very nicely equipped, heated front seats and steering wheel, backup camera, and more from $37,218. Or choose a new Jeep Cherokee Sport with 8-speed automatic up to 31 EPA highway and more from $21,880. See Don Miller Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram.
Why settle for the frustrations of satellite? 1 out of 4 satellite customers claim they have reception outages in bad weather, and 80% of satellite customers don't have real video on demand. Plus, there's this on your house. With Spectrum, everyone has access to tons of free on-demand options instantly, and your favorite HD channels are already included. And our DVR service lets you pause, play, and rewind live TV in up to 4 rooms. Can't do that with satellite. With the Spectrum TV app, watch live TV anywhere in your home on your mobile devices and download movies and shows to watch offline anywhere. Call 844-882-2999 now. Spectrum Internet is 20 times faster than DSL, so everyone in your home can be online at the same time. Get Spectrum Internet and get unlimited calling and great features with Spectrum Voice. Get TV, internet, and voice from $29.99 a month each with no contracts and a money-back guarantee. Call 844-882-2999 today.
2-hour lunch. Must be nice. Glug, glug. A little leopard goes the wrong way. Glug, glug. Moment on the lips, forever on the hips. Hey, get your mitts off me.
Don't you wish more things were filtered? Nobody filters water more than Culligan. The best name in water comes in a bottle.
Rent a Culligan bottled water cooler and get the first month free.
Charlie Shortino, weekdays on The Morning Show.
So our chances for thunderstorms are pretty much diminished through tonight. However, they return again late tomorrow. So keep your eyes open there. We're not expecting anything severe, but you'll want to keep it here as those begin to pop. I'll give you all the updates as needed. Hot and humid otherwise, and sunny right through the weekend.
So in theory, one could enjoy an adult beverage outside right now and not get rained on.
You are safe,
In
John.
theory.
Have a nice evening.
I'm not saying I'm going to, but one could.
Cheers.